Well, here's the thing. You're right. Running business is hard, but it's really simple. It's really, really simple, but it's just hard. It takes a lot of work.
How's it simple?
It's you deliver a product. You find something that's that's valuable to somebody else, and you tack a fee onto it, and then you deliver it. You establish a method of communication. Whether we're totally door to door, so we've never spent $1 in ads. We've been 100% door to door, all organic business, which is also totally crazy that we've never done any ad spend. We've done 100% door to door, all organic business. Wow. So you find your communication line. So ours happened to be door to door. Why? I never was trained on tech. I never was trained on marketing. I never was trained on like online social media marketing. I was never trained on SEO or Facebook ads or paid media. Never trained on any of that at all. But what I did know is I knew how to go shake somebody's hand and smile and introduce myself and find out what a problem was that they were experiencing and then deliver them a solution to that problem. That's literally all business is. First thing is you have a product that can solve a problem. You get in front of somebody in whatever method that you want, phone call, door-to-door, email, referral, network marketing, whatever it is. So have the product that can solve a problem and that somebody's willing to pay money for. You then establish a communication line. You make them problem aware. You show them the value of the product. You have them purchase the product. You then deliver the product. That's your entire sales cycle. And follow-up referrals, et cetera, et cetera. But then you just get really damn good at that, and you just have to do that so many times. Like, you just keep doing that, but a lot. Like, okay. It's very, like, that's the entire business model, right? Like, that's the whole business plan. Like, you just do that, and then you go and do it a lot. And then once you perfect it and you master it, you then say, hey, all right, now you find somebody and hire them, be like, all right, this is how we do it. And you teach them exactly how to do it until they perfect it. And you go and grab another person, and you train another person, the other person trains another person, and you just keep repeating that. And then you add, okay, you don't want to handle this.
And then now you have a pyramid, and then if they bring 3 friends, then
for sure, yeah.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, and then, but I mean, it's real. Every single business is a pyramid.
It is, yeah.
Like every business is a pyramid. Like
you look at my we're just looking at my board over there, right? My team, it's a pyramid.
Every business is a pyramid. Like somebody has to be the owner that starts it.
Yeah.
And somebody else has to work under them, and that person has to have reports that report to them. And this person has to hold these people accountable. And then you have to have a different division over here that makes sure that all this stuff is working. And that person has reports on it. 100% of businesses are a pyramid. So
unless you're a one-person business, and then in that case, you're not very successful.
And the average solopreneur makes $47,000 a year. And that let's go into that. Let's go into that on that side of entrepreneurship. I love that. Too many people want to be entrepreneurs that just need to latch on to somebody who's moving damn fast and being the second or third person in that business. So many people. But they have this idea of what entrepreneurship looks like because they see a fantastic video editor compiling photos of Ferraris and yachts and throwing some badass music and some captions on there and talking about how this is the life of the entrepreneur. And they think that that's what they have to do. But they don't have the grit, nor the resiliency, nor the confidence, nor the belief. They have the idea of what entrepreneurship is, and that's none of that. That's 2-3 days a year after 10 years of going through bullshit to have that 30-second clip that you saw. And most people don't realize that, nor have the confidence, grit, or courage it takes to actually get there. And so it's so much better, I think, for individuals that want a great lifestyle to latch onto and draft behind someone who's moving damn fast in a field that you like, that's going and taking on all the risk. The first person is working 80, 90, 100 hours a week, the first person in the business. The second person in a business is working 40, probably like 60 hours, and he's reaping so many of those benefits without having to deal with any of the legal, the accounting, the tax, the hiring, the staffing, the bullshit, the risk. None of it. They don't have to deal with any of that.
Yeah. Their risk is maybe their paycheck stops one day, but they don't have to deal with all the other stuff.
But if you're the second, third, or fourth person in a business, you're in a really damn good seat.
Yep.
And if you're the thousandth, you know, maybe it's a little bit of a different story. So I would go and find somebody who's like the real deal, someone who's like confident when you communicate with them, like you can tell that they're just so bought in, they have this huge intensity and they know what they're doing, they know the direction they're going, they're disciplined, they're ethical, they don't mess around, they're good with their family, they're good with if they have children, they're good with their children, good with their relationships, good with people, they always stick through to their word. They're committed. If they say they're going to do something, they follow through with it. That's somebody that you should go work with. That's somebody that you should just draft behind and push them and go build something badass together. Like, so many people want to be an entrepreneur and so many people just really aren't cut out for it. And it's not that people shouldn't follow their dreams, but you can also draft along someone who has similar dreams as you, let them take on all the risk, and then you go and just help propel them. The entrepreneur is like so underrated. So underrated.
Dude, I haven't thought of it that way, but I love that because I see that. And then I also see that there's people in my company. I got like, you know, we're up to almost 100 employees now, but there's the guy who, my first employee, he's still with me and he's going to continue to ride that. And
you're gonna have an exit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's gonna
get compensated.
And he's gonna get compensated for that.
And
exit.
same as the first 10 people that came on, and so that's the thing. But there's some people in that initial group that, dude, they see they see the private jet, they see the lifestyle. They don't realize, like, I'm on the private jet because I'm going to an event, I'm bringing people on. Like, it's not necessarily all glitz and glam, but they see that and they want it now, and they don't want to go.
But you're also, when you're going on the private jet, you have a camera crew around, and you're shooting everything,
it's the process.
And you're marketing because you have a marketing agency, right?
Yeah.
And so you're showing people the thing that you actually deliver. So your marketing and your delivery is the same thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like you actually almost have to do that so that you can show people what the hell you can do for them.
Yeah, dude. And if I wasn't doing that, like, I can't just sit in a room all day and market. Like, that's not engaging. It's not entertaining. People don't care about that. But the thing is people they don't see that, dude. They don't see, like, you know, they don't see the 5, 6, 7 years you've been working. They just see, like, oh, Moe, the guy who failed at real estate, or, you know, or get out of real estate, and then the Moe that just sold his company. And they're like, I want to go from here to here, but they don't want to go through that whole middle process. And I think that's creating this culture right now in our society where there's all these, like, millennials and Gen Zers that they want the end result, but they don't realize what it's taking to do there. And the way you articulate that is wonderful. It's like, all right, and then you can hitch on to someone who's crushing it, get paid to learn, you know, and then ride that wave, get an exit, and now you know the system. You can go out and do it again, or you can do it with that same person again. But dude, I love it.
And it's a lot of people just want, like, instant gratification. You're right. They want the end result because there's so much conditioning right now where, like, you throw something up on Instagram and I like young girls today are in a very, very, very dangerous environment with social media because they throw something up on Instagram, and if it doesn't have 5 likes in the first minute, they take the thing down, they get mad insecure, they think that they're ugly, they think that there's something wrong with them, and then they stop expanding their reach. And they start to contrast as individuals. And it's so toxic. And it's the culture, it's the Kim Kardashians of the world. It's all that they're out there and they're promoting their bodies, and what they're showing other young girls is that they need to be promoting their bodies when young girls need to be promoting their voice. And they need to be heard rather than being seen. And so people, young girls especially, are putting their attention on the wrong thing. And then what happens when they start putting that out there? They start attracting the wrong people. And they start attracting people who only want them for their bodies rather than who they are. And it's that dopamine hit of people just want that like right away. And if they can't get that like right away, then they think it's the wrong thing, and then they're going to jump from this thing to this thing to this thing to this thing to this thing. They never stick in anything long enough to actually be able to see it go through and work. It's like they'll go into it, they'll have a little bit of success right away, but then it starts getting hard. And once it starts getting hard, they go jump into the other thing. And every single time they hit that hard, they go and jump into another thing and another thing, another thing. And I did that too, right? Like I hit hard, and then just came to a point in my life where I was like, I'm not leaving this thing until I figure this damn shit out.
And I stuck with it, and so many times I was like, oh, like solar is a really great business, but there were times where I was like, maybe I should do something else. I'm seeing other people be successful here. And I kept on repeating the same trap. It was like, repeating the same cycle, and I was like, no, I told myself I'm sticking with this thing until I figure this thing out. And yeah, I'm just went and stuck through with it.
Thanks for checking out this short clip from the full podcast I did. If you want to see another clip, go ahead and click the link right here. Or if you want to see the full podcast, you can click the link right here and check it out.